Alrighty, guys. Oh shit, my camera's like whatever. Alrighty. Anyways, this is gonna be a trade recap on the trade that I've taken today. I figured I might as well just start doing these recaps because you guys enjoy them, and you got obviously I'm sending alerts all the time, but you guys have no idea what's going on. So this morning I woke up, I saw market moving, nothing was really going on. It's just a whole lot of chops. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna take a trade. I'm not gonna go live. I'm not gonna sit here and just watch paint dry. I actually just slept in. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I might not even be able to take a trade today. But so I got like an extra 30 minutes of sleep, woke back up. About 2 hours later, I started noticing the market breaking low of day, right? So I'm alerting and telling everybody as it's happening. Low risk here, waiting for retest after break of low day. And all I simply did, and obviously, we ended up making money. I showed everybody my entry, how many contracts I was in. I added a few more. I ended up with 12, and I scaled a majority of my position. I scaled 10%, 10%, 10 contracts here at $1,200, and obviously ended up hitting full TP at the end of the day. That put me up $17,000 on the month. But this is the analysis right here. This is nothing too crazy. Obviously, there's levels above and below, but we're playing simple day trading action, right? So whenever you have no levels being broken, so normally a lot of people would play the opening range, whatever, this and that, but we don't see anything there. The first thing that I saw is supply and demand, right? I saw levels being broken to the downside. This is a low right here, right? We're uptrending very slowly. Not a lot of buyers, not a lot of volume, but we ended up breaking this level here, and I saw supply. So we had a drop, base, drop, right? This is supply. There's a lot of volume there. On top of that, we were breaking levels. Not only did we break this low right here, which was pretty strong for the day, we also broke low of day as well. So once I saw low of day being broken, all I had to do was look for displacements. I used my fib retracement, went from the top of the move to the bottom of the move. Boom, whenever I saw the first and second green candle. And I noticed that it started retracing to the fair value gap there, right? So this is the fair value gap that I want to use. The one that's on the zero point 0.5 to the fib retracement. All I have on my settings is the 0, the 0.5, and the 1. That's all you need. So the fair value gap that aligns with levels being broken, this is a low, this is a low, this is another low. This was the low before this volume kicked in, right? So this is your drop base drop. Supply and demand is just simple volume. It's a way to read it. I used to trade supply and demand like this, top of the first red candle that started the move to the bottom of the candle close. But I started noticing that price would react to these fair value gaps where displacements are at, right? Buyers or sellers outweighing each other. In this case, sellers started outweighing buyers while breaking levels, right? So all I simply did was wait for the retracement, which happened pretty quickly. And as I'm alerting this, I'm also taking the trade. I started entering, sizing in on this first green candle here because, it's not promised that it's going to be as perfect as it is right there. And my target was simply the gap fill from the night before, right? So price moved overnight, gapped up. Everyone probably had a buyer's bias. Whatever bias you have, you should never have a bias. You should only be playing price action intraday. And my target was simply low of day. So by the time we hit low of day, that's when I started scaling out of my trade. I made about $1,200, I think $1,000 because I scaled out and then it went up a little bit. So I just sold the rest of it. Didn't really care. Made about $1,000 today. That put me up $17,000 on the week. And then obviously, of course, price ended up hitting full TP. But by then I was already playing golf. I wasn't really necessarily worried on trying to catch the entire move. Yes, if I played 1 to 2 day contracts on my trade, I might have held a little bit longer, but I'm experienced enough to be able to, or I'm comfortable enough to trade 0 DTEs knowing that, just off a simple move, 20, 25%, 30%. I'm not looking for these home runs. I'm looking for the guaranteed moves. Even just off this one candle here, I was literally up 10, 15, 20%. Now imagine when you're trading with thousands of dollars, you don't need a lot of money to make money. All you have to do is follow these guaranteed moves. So when you have choppiness, a lot of people are trading this and losing, right? Maybe someone thought this fair value gap was valid, but what levels are you really breaking? You're breaking weak level volumes. When moves happen. Whenever moves happen, breaking levels, it's like we're making higher highs and higher lows. Whenever you see a move to the downside break those lows, that's how you know sellers are in control. So that's where you'd want to take the trade. And that's ultimately what we did. And now I am up $17,000 on the month. I did take a big loss a couple days ago on Thursday, which kind of sucks. I could have been up 200% on the $10,000 challenge, but either way, it is whatever. We made our money back inevitably, and you know, that's just how it is. But that is the trade recap on the trade that I took today, and that is it. I'll see you guys next time.